HOA complained about bright lights, didn't know they were for autism awareness. Why would anyone wage war against a sea of glowing blue lights? In the quiet suburban town of Willow Creek, where neighbors usually nodded politely over picket fences, chaos erupted one April evening. Karen Montgomery, the self-crowned queen of the local HOA, stood on her pristine lawn, fists balled, glaring at the park across the street. The park was ablaze with dazzling blue lights, a spectacle that shattered her vision of a tasteful neighborhood. To Karen, those lights were an assault too bright, too garish, a violation of her meticulously crafted HOA rules. She didn't know, couldn't have known, that those lights were more than decoration. They were a beacon of hope for autism awareness, strung up by families whose lives were touched by the cause. That ignorance would spark a firestorm. Karen wasn't one to let things slide. She'd built her reputation on complaints, too loud barbecues, unapproved mailbox designs, even a kid's chalk drawing she deemed vandalism. But the lights? They were personal. They kept her awake, she claimed, though her house was a good 100 yards away. She fired off emails to the HOA board, demanding the eyesore be dismantled. No response. She posted on the neighborhood app, calling the display tacky and disruptive. Crickets. Frustration boiled over, and Karen decided to take matters into her own hands. She didn't just want the lights gone, she wanted to make a statement. Armed with a pair of wire cutters and a flashlight, she marched to the park under cover of dusk, ready to snuff out the glow. What Karen didn't expect was pushback. As she reached the park, she found a small crowd gathered: parents, kids, and volunteers from the local autism support group, celebrating the display's opening night. The lights weren't just bulbs. They were a symbol, each one representing a story of struggle, love, and resilience. Among the crowd was Sarah Nguyen, a single mom whose 8-year-old son, Liam, was autistic. Sarah had spent weeks organizing the event, pouring her heart into every detail. When she saw Karen storming toward the display, wire cutters glinting, her stomach dropped. "What are you doing?" Sarah called, stepping forward. Karen froze, caught in the act, but her defiance flared. "These lights are a nuisance," she snapped. "I'm saving this neighborhood from your circus." The crowd murmured, tension crackling like static. Here's where the twist comes. Enter Mr. Thompson, the neighborhood's reclusive widower, who rarely spoke at HOA meetings but always paid his dues on time. He shuffled forward, his voice shaky but firm. "Karen, those lights are for my grandson Ethan. He's autistic. They're not just lights theory hope." The crowd fell silent. Karen's face twitched, her certainty cracking. She hadn't known. How could she? She never asked. Mr. Thompson's words hung heavy, a quiet indictment of her rush to judgment. But Karen, cornered and embarrassed, doubled down. "Well, they're still against the rules," she barked, and with a defiant snip, she cut the first wire. A section of the display flickered and died. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Sarah's hands flew to her mouth, tears welling. The confrontation exploded. Sarah, usually soft-spoken, found her voice. "You don't get to decide what matters to us," she shouted, stepping closer. Karen, unaccustomed to defiance, flinched but held her ground. "This is my neighborhood too," she retorted, snipping another wire. Bulbs shattered under her feet, each crunch a dagger to the crowd's heart. Phones lit up, recording every moment. Kids clung to their parents, confused. Liam, watching from the sidelines, rocked anxiously, the chaos overwhelming him. Sarah rushed to his side, but her eyes burned with fury. "You're destroying something beautiful," she said, her voice breaking. "For what? Control?" Karen's hands trembled, but she kept cutting, as if sheer stubbornness could drown out the truth. Then came the reckoning. A police car pulled up, its lights casting an eerie glow. Someone in the crowd had called 911, reporting vandalism. Officer Daniels, a longtime resident, stepped out, his face grim. "Karen, put the cutters down," he said, not unkindly. She froze, reality crashing in. The crowd's murmurs grew louder, a chorus of disapproval. Karen's bravado crumbled. "Two was just enforcing the rules," she stammered. but her voice lacked conviction. Officer Daniels surveyed the damage. Broken bulbs, tangled wires, a display now half dark. "This wasn't yours to break," he said. "These folks have a permit. It's Autism Awareness Month. Didn't you know?" Karen's silence was deafening. She hadn't known. She hadn't cared to find out. As Karen was led away, handcuffs glinting in the remaining blue light, the crowd's anger gave way to something heavier pity. Sarah knelt beside Liam, whispering reassurances. Mr. Thompson stared at the ruined display, his eyes wet. The neighborhood app exploded with videos of Karen's outburst, comments ranging from outrage to disbelief. By morning, Karen's name was synonymous with shame. Her HOA presidency was revoked in an emergency meeting. Neighbors who once feared her now whispered about her downfall. The Autism Support Group launched a fundraiser to repair the display, and donations poured in, far exceeding the cost. The park glowed brighter than ever within days, a testament to the community's resilience. Karen retreated into her house, curtains drawn. Rumors swirled. She was selling her home, moving away. Some said she sent an apology letter to Sarah, but no one knew for sure. Sarah didn't care. She was too busy rebuilding, not just the display, but the community's spirit. At the relighting ceremony, Liam flipped the switch, his face beaming under the blue glow. The crowd cheered, a moment of triumph born from pain. Mr. Thompson stood beside Sarah, a quiet smile on his face. The lights weren't just for Ethan or Liam, they were for everyone who'd ever felt unseen. In the end, Willow Creek found healing in unity. The lights stayed up all month, a reminder that even the darkest acts can spark something beautiful. Karen's story became a cautionary tale, whispered at barbecues and book clubs. Ask before you act, listen before you judge. The neighborhood wasn't perfect, but it was stronger, bound by shared purpose. As for you, what do you think? Was Karen's rage justified, or did her ignorance deserve its bitter end? Share your thoughts. Let's talk about what makes a community shine.